audio of the microphone as a way to indicate if something interesting is happening or not. And maybe like, well, there are actually 3 tracks. There's one that's mixing both of them, and you're listening to it right now, so you can hear both music and me talking. And then there's one track that's just music, and the other track that's just audio. And I just want to focus, like, not audio, but just me talking. And I want to use that talking thing as like a command, like to indicate when something is interesting. So it's like basically it's a command. And then like maybe we won't speed up, like, cause the only thing this does is like speed silent and speed sound and stuff. Like change the speeds of them. So we probably will speed up the normal audio with like 20% or 50% or something. Probably 20% because 50% I talk too fast. We can't do much faster than 20%. We'll just have to experiment with that. And then silent, you can also speed like that. 99 over jump. But what I was intended to do was like to separate the music track from the audio track and not speed it up at all, and like basically re-add it later so that the music is not speeded. But that's something for another time. I don't know how far it will get. I think we'll get something working at least soon. Well, let's try it on one video first. That's the thing I want to do right now. So it just wants to know an input file basically, and we have an input file. We have the Skybro trap video. So we trapped Skybro, by the way. You can see it in Discord. We trapped him, but unfortunately he went away because we didn't have a cake. So one thing I need to do is actually make an emoticon, otherwise we can't trap him properly. This is the not Skybro trap. Yeah, he got in, went out. Can't have it all. Skybro trap. What is it? Yes. Where's Skybro? Oh, I think it's called trap Skybro. Let's see what this does. It doesn't know about temp direct, right? What? Don't know about temp. Sounds insane. Just /temp. What did it say? File. No such file directory. temp/audio walk. There's a bug. Oh, there you have it. How do you get that? Oh, I see. It's like an environment variable or something. We just hard coded the temp. Yeah, let's modify that. Yeah, this software is a bit buggy, as you can see. We probably add another argument for a full. It's the best way to. Yeah, but I don't want to do it myself. You know, I'll just keep fixing this shit that's wrong here. Even though it's Python, even though it's buggy as hell. Like, was it too hard to add another argument? Temp. Oh, you have default here. Temp folder default is. I'm probably gonna make separate pull requests or something for this. I don't think he's gonna like answer them at all, unfortunately. Are you going back? What does comma do in? How is this file name decided? Oh, I guess just this part, huh? Arg. And to be fair, like, this is saving me a fuck ton of time, even though it's buggy. It's fine. Like, I was looking into codecs and whatever, and just this solution, having it working already, it's amazing. And it's even 7 months old, so, you know, the fact that it's around, I'm pretty lucky. I complain about it, but yeah, let's upload this and it works. So add folder. You don't have a compiler. Well, you probably are, but you can do shell. Jump help. Oh, do you do? Oh right, the shell doesn't work. We need to build it. It's also really nice that they have a Nix environment available. It saves me a lot of problems. You have a temp folder. Yeah, I presume that this works. I don't think going wrong. This looks like a typical open source project, by the way. The code is a mess, but it just does something useful, so you just start using it. Yeah, let's try running it. Oh right, we need to update the revision. That's what we pushed it, right? My abandoned project, which I'm still updating. Oh no, I did my clone. Where's my clone? I need to have the latest. This is the fastest way of figuring it out. Not, but I wasn't. Right, we need to update the source. Which is not this jump cut. Where are you defining? Oh, right, so we need to change that revision, and then it works. So now we have a later version. Well, the reason I'm doing it through Nix is that other people can now use this project and they don't have to, you know, download the sources of Jump Cutter. Nix will do that for you. It's like easier to reuse. I'm basically going through a lot of extra pain to make this program usable by other people. Oh, there's a temp. The fuck? Well, there you have it. Temp. Why did I make a temp? I couldn't find it. Well, don't make a temp. We'll use /temp. Oh, that would have been a problem. Actually, you need to have /temp available for your operating system, otherwise it spills out. I found it out the hard way because I mounted a sub volume on /temp, and it changed the permission to not writable by anyone, and pulse audio without. That's one of my first nicks a bit, and I know it was it's probably reusability. Yeah, help. Okay, let's now reverse search temp first input file, and now we'll define another temp folder /temp. And the nice thing about this thing is it can be on RAMFS. So this directory is just basically entirely in RAM. It's really fast. Anyone should do, everyone should do it, by the way. No, it's not RAMFS, it's TempFS, right? TempFS, which is entirely in RAM. You may be concerned like, oh, wouldn't you run out of RAM? Well, that's why you have swap partition. So it wants to create a temporary folder and delete it as well. That's amazing. No such direct. So you basically have a race condition. You're making the audio too fast. I need to debug this Python script I did. Maybe it's easier just to copy out the commands and make my Haskell. Because like he's doing a lot of shit that's just breaking. Oh, it's like pretty. Something just hacked together. Works on my machine. Where are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Which line is it? Tell me that. Line 2. That's pretty far. It doesn't make sense. There's no line 2. WAV file.py. That's SciPy. That's the problem. That's 110. So it's trying to read this WAV file, but it doesn't exist. Like the temp folder doesn't exist, but I think you didn't even delete it. Hi, it's glorified Bash written in Python to me. Do you like Bash over Python? I mean it's a really useful script for me. That's why I'm using it. But basically it's just a wrapper around FFmpeg. FFmpeg and some SciPy shit. But we got like halfway, so. Well, excluding the imports, you're probably not even halfway. Open temp folder. So yeah, temp folder does exist. You just don't believe. I like Bash on all those languages except Perl. No one can hate that. Oh no, I've seen the beauty of Perl. It's amazing. What are the operators again? Like Sour knows. Like a war or something? I think we also had one for that page itself. Operators? I don't know. But I need to calm down because I'm getting upset. Nothing, the code is not working. The code I'm stealing is not working. Well, the problem is maybe because there's no audio WAV file. And that's crashing, because it can't find the audio.wav file. Because the folder does exist, it's just there's no audio WAV file in there. So maybe it just doesn't understand MP4? Well, we have an MKV file or something. Maybe we should try that instead. Yeah, you also didn't make the JPEG. Let's try that then. I need to have it working with MKV. What is it called? Matroska, anyway. Best name ever. So we'll just do that then. So this is another video, and this one has a separate track, so it's even more interesting to use. Because I don't know how it's gonna react to that. It's actually 18, 17, what's going on? Oh right, I started one and then I quit. Shortly after to test this out. Yeah, this is the 3-hour one. We can split this up with FFmpeg. That's a good idea. Not sure what's happening in the any audio. Well, this thing is interesting because I recorded the separate tracks, track 1, track. So the one is the one that's mixed. This is the one that, one of these is the one that has my audio, like just me speaking, and the other one is just one with music. But I presume it will just take the first one. I think it's lazy loaded file, no mated. That could be true. Maybe, yeah, like the Matroska format is very flexible. Like this is a the way video works is interesting in general because you have these container formats, file formats, like Matroska, and then inside it there is like a different encoding maybe for audio and a different encoding maybe for video, and they can like be interchanged with each other. So you can maybe have like wave audio inside there, and then well, like H.264 whatever video format, or you can have MP3 audio, and then I don't know. What are the types? AVI, I think that's also video format. I have no idea. I've learned a lot about video in the last day, trying to make this work, and then I came across this project, and I was like so happy. Applicable artists like PDF. Oh, more. A lot of formats were applicable. Like our format, and then we add like an object pointer, so you can add in anything you want. Well, I guess that's not true, because the thing it enforces is time stepping, making sure that you get the frame of audio and video at the same time. Like you get like one frame of video and then a couple of audio hanging below it. A couple of steps of audio, because audio needs to play quicker, I believe, than sort of format to go to like a version. Yeah. I've exported for a bit when I was younger, docx stuff. It's weird because you can open docx files with Excel, and you can interchange them. You can open Word files with Excel, and you can open Excel files with Word, and they will like, figure out what. At least I remember something like that. I may have been lying. Yeah. So we need to have the 17.1. Actually, this is a bad idea because this file is too long to do it on stream. So we'll just run the other program first, which is Excel jar files. Then don't forget about WAR files, and then you can put like your CSS style sheets in your compiled WAR thing, and then it will actually unpack it when running it. insane. You need to pack it into a WAR file and then your web server thing will unpack it again to run it. There's a lot of packing and unpacking going on. What am I? Oh, I know. I just need to do kabel new run. Then it will tell me literally. Oh, I didn't know that. Input field. Which would be that long as. That's home. One thing I also was thinking about is adding voice recognition to the program. So you would figure out if someone is actually speaking and not just typing on keyboard. That should be pretty trivial. The only problem is it's kind of expensive to run. I think it's like $1 or $2 per hour. So yeah, uploading a video would quickly cost like $6. Unless you use the open source version, which is like 6 cents per video. But then you need to run it on your own. And you need to actually figure out what speech model you want to use and configure it and whatever. That's something for the future. You need to do magic. You also need to have out file field template. I don't know, what did we do last time? Oh, it's like raster probably. Oh, input like plates. Like field size. You don't have default. Right, I didn't do that. Oh, now it's also MP4. It took me. I just want to have a shorter video. What am I looking? Oh, right. We run jump cut. I don't think it's gonna matter. Maybe it will with the video track. It wants to make a template. Oh, it already exists, right? So we need to keep on making. And now you can't find the file directory, so it still doesn't work on MP4. Okay, maybe we'll just do the big one then. Whatever. Or I have smaller ones as well. Come to think of it, I have a bunch of raster recordings. These aren't that big. Let's see if we have. This is not a day. Yeah, this is unedited. Okay, then it's just not working. I bet they're like. Let's pull out that FFmpeg spell and see if it's actually running or something. So what you do to create audio, sample, what the fuck is sample rate, temp, just do it by hand. Temp folder is, just put it in temp. Okay, I think we're approaching the point where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this by hand. Because I'll figure out how to use FFmpeg myself. Input file, better for learning anyway. So I don't care about learning, I wanna have this. Like, there's an infinite just amount of shit you can learn, and I just want to have this working. That's why I'm using the Python shit. Like, I've tried using the Python shit and making everything work with Nate. I just want to have it. That's like a way of improving my YouTube channel. And then, like, I'm open sourcing it so anyone else that wants to use it, whatever. I don't care. I mean, yeah, it's better for learning. I don't feel that's a good goal to have it. This one, huh? Too annoying. Distract. Eventually you'll realize that's why people hire other kind of labor. Or boy software. Yeah. You just want to have it. Oh, it's because of the space. Are you shitting me? You must be kidding me. Yeah, so the spell works. We see the spell work, right? We have audio as well. There. What? Maybe it doesn't import off. Yeah, it exists. I don't know if it does. I'll quickly prove that I have audio. You can hear me stuttering. I'm horrible at speaking. Especially with that kind of stuff, because I have to think about what to say and like sell it at the same time. Like I'm worse at that kind of thing than actually, because I just say whatever comes up in my mind when I'm, whether I'm just describing what's in front of me, I'm really bad at that apparently. Yeah, so it works, but it doesn't like spaces. So let's, what? But the MP4 then, what is AC? There is no manual for FFmpeg. I think there is, but they just didn't include it in Nix for some reason. Why? Why would you do the code blocks in white? It's cursing. Don't you see? People that don't like. Nice. What does AC do? Audio quality. Audio. How do you do track? Out file. Oh, this is output out. We need to look at. I'm not gonna fix that. I can't get the program. You're trying to open it before even executing a command. What's going on? I think it's not blocking. It's not waiting for the FFmpeg shit to finish direct. No, it's pasting it to each other. No, it's not. With quotes, man. Mpeg bin is it direct. I wanted to print whatever command is running. I think it's actually running the command, but it's failing because it thinks it's a directory. I mean, I did change this. What is trace, maybe? Trace, yeah. Trace everything. This should at least say what files it's trying to open. You're making me really upset, program. What? What is going on? Right. Right, I don't have that. I need to do that. It's fucking everything up again. Thing. Maybe we can limit it to just file access. File. I bet there's some examples or something. Need to do read. So we do e-read. It's like a file X, printing all the file X. Maybe we also want to have write. Unfortunately for Unix, there's a lot of file X's. It's because of Python, right? It's actually loading all this stuff in Python. Like doing a module import, you read the scripts from. So the actual interesting stuff is probably at the bottom, because it first loads all the code. These random strings everywhere. But this is looks like strings. I thought it was a read file. I know. Open. That's probably different from. Maybe we should look at open. Trace. Yes, that's what I want. Trace this file. It's just loading a bunch of Python. Making a directory params attack, failing on the greatest number. Let's just follow direct creating. It already exists. No, we made it not exist. Oh, that's what I'm wrong. It's trying to open that. Probably to write into it or something. It doesn't exist. Oh, and this is where you're failing. Right, we already knew that. It's not helping at all. I was hoping it would find the stuff FFmpeg. It's not even monitoring that because that's a different process, of course. I'm an idiot. So yeah, I'm just gonna modify this again then. I didn't want to do this. Let's just see what it's doing. And then... because it's making some command and I think it's just doing something wrong with FFmpeg. And we're just gonna copy over the entire command and then maybe we'll even make it... It's not doing bench. Okay, whatever, we'll commit. I mean, this is just more like a proper way of running your script anyway, just printing everything you're doing. We should have set plus X, like you do in make or a shell. So you just print everything you're doing. It makes debugging so much easier. Yeah, let's update. I mean, I guess I should do it properly. I should act clever, Jim. It's me debugging shit again, huh? Debugging, my old friend. Why are you so fast? It's insane. I want to say you're not printing anything, but getting some error. Wait, what is a shell that makes it? Importing. I told you jump cuts are different, right? Right, we're not tracking. It doesn't seem to refresh. No. You're not printing anything. Why? Maybe you run it here instead. This is like, if I keep modifying it, it's just annoying. Go to that other. You should have to write. This Python jump cutter. Then we'll figure out why Nix is failing. Probably some caching issue, and I just clear it, whatever. Right, we have. Why are you working in here? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? What are you even doing? Is this heavy? Oh yeah, this is heavy. Well, there you have it. The magic is happening, guys. We did it. I have no idea why. Apparently you need to download the source before it does that. So, it's making individual frames out of this thing, I believe. It's doing like... It's just like making out of every frame, it's making a separate image. And this is the most inefficient way ever, I think, to do this. But it worked, so who am I to complain? And then we're gonna use the audio to detect what to do with each frame. It's not even, like, it's entirely bypassing the codec idea and just using frame. Oh, we're almost through it. Like, I think it's 20 minutes. And it's taking up a lot of disk space, but that's fine. And if it takes up 100 or 200 gigs of disk space, I'm still fine with it. Like, how big is it? I bet it's really... And like, the audio processing will be like, so fast, probably. Because you don't need to export all these stupid... That's what I like about this. It's so clever. Like, you just bypass all complexity of codecs and whatever by just doing this export. Yeah, it's 5 gigs already for like 20 minutes. So if you have a 2-hour stream, it'll be, well, 6 times 30 gigs. So that's like acceptable. Like, it's acceptable for processing and the fact that you're putting in a temporary direction. I don't think I have temporary. We're not even seeing any application memory. And like, the other thing is that this happens mostly automatic, so I don't really mind taking a lot of resources because it saves me to do other stuff, which is really... Seems like there has to be... Yeah, you can actually... oh, right, Lumi hasn't seen the intro. So, like, the way they're doing it right now is through exporting every frame individually. And that's, like, entirely ignoring the fact that codecs exist. I think I talked about this before, but the way that works is, like, you reuse parts of the image over time. You can also speed up, slow down the section at different rates with random silence. 6 times speed. Yeah, 6 times of not, or 9999 times. That's what like, that's like the way to make you sound clever. Because you will be talking on one end. Re-encoding stuff always comes at a loss. No, you don't have to do it at a loss. Well, if you speed it up, yeah, you'll have artifacts. You'll lose frames for sure. And in audio you will have artifacts. But my music hack with like using separate tracks is That would save everything. But like, if I want to make those kind of edits, I'm probably gonna rewrite in Haskell, but not today. I just want to have it working. I want to have one victory, man. And this seems to be working, even though not integrated at all with my program. But that's just